It can be hard to admit when you're wrong, and it can be even harder to say you're sorry. In April 2020, I released a video looking at almost every port of my favourite game of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. In that video, I described Christian Whitehead's mobile port of Sonic 2 as... My user experience of this inaccurate and buggy version of the game was heavily compromised at the end of it. I actively didn't want to play it again. I've never felt that way about Sonic 2 before. Since that video, things have changed. I've learned new information about not only the mobile release, but also Sonic Jam, and we've even been given a brand new way to play Sonic 2. Let's tackle Sonic Jam first, a port that I can sadly no longer recommend. I'm incredibly disappointed to have to change my stance, as in the original video, I spoke very highly of this release. If you saw my Sonic 1 video, you know how much I love Sonic Jam. It's certainly become my son's favourite way to play the game. My main complaint was only having access to the European release. Also, for us PAL gamers, we're again stuck with a 50Hz refresh rate and 18% slower gameplay. Not being able to play the 60Hz version caused me to assume the US and Japanese releases would be better than the PAL offering, and I concluded by saying, this is a top tier release if you live in the 60Hz territory, have a working Sega Saturn, a copy of Sonic Jam, and the AV setup. That assumption is what ultimately tripped me up. Since then, I've grabbed a 60Hz mod for my Sega Saturn and a Satiator ODE so I can play the NTSC versions of the full Saturn library. Sonic Jam was at the top of my list to play, and no, you are not seeing things. That is not YouTube screwing up. There are massive stuttering and frame pacing issues in the NTSC release. At first, I put this down to running the game from an ODE installed in a 60Hz modded PAL console. I figured the disc release running on an NTSC machine would be fine, until I saw my friend Charlie stream the game. I knew he was running a genuine Japanese disc copy of the game on a real Japanese Sega Saturn, and there was the slowdown again. It was so prominent, he and his chat even commented on it.
Yeah, we are getting some slowdown. I mean, this technically is the Japanese version, so did Japanese Sonic 2 have slowdown?
Charlie also came across some other issues.
What? That's not a... That wasn't a wall? seemed kind of wall-y to me, I don't know.
Knowing that the cause isn't my 60Hz mod or ODE, and that the stuttering impacts both the US and Japanese versions of the game is ultimately a deal-breaker. Sonic's all about speed and momentum, so the game's completely ruined by this jittery gameplay. Alright, so what about that mobile port I hyped up at the start? What's actually changed there? Put simply, I played an outdated version of the game. The version I played came out in 2013, however the game was later re-released in 2017 as part of the Sega Forever initiative. These were separate apps with separate version number histories. The 2013 version I owned got abandoned in favour of the 2017 release, and stopped receiving updates from Sega. This means things like the Oil Ocean barrel glitch I complained about before seem to have been fixed in the 2017 version. The error occurred naturally on multiple playthroughs in the 2013 release, but I couldn't replicate the issue in the 2017 release, even when I went out of my way to do so. I thought my favourite skip in the game, found in Wing Fortress, had been made impossible. Looks like I was wrong on that front too. It can still be done. Likewise, the arena for the Mecha Sonic fight, and that is his name according to Jax, had been made wider in the 2013 version, changing the distance Mecha travels and screwing with my muscle memory. This has been addressed in the 2017 release, and the arena is back to its original size. That said, issues like the camera panning up and jumping distance being larger in the Aquatic Ruin boss fight haven't been addressed. You still can't see all of the arrows firing or hit Robotnik when he's at the opposite totem. Look, I just want my speedrun Stragger swats, okay? Similarly, I criticised the Death Egg robot for firing its arms at a different angle. That still hasn't been fixed in the 2017 version, And yes, I'm being pedantic about a change that 90% of players won't notice or care about, but it changes where the safe zones to stand are, and the arms go through the floor now. That's just sloppy. I did notice a new issue too. These moving platforms in Metropolis Zone seem to suddenly pop in, which isn't something I'd come across before. One of my greatest annoyances was that this port was largely trapped on mobile devices. I wanted to play the game on a TV with a controller. Thanks to fan efforts, that's now possible through the Android Decompilation project by Rubber Ducky Cooley. I can't overstate how much this has improved my overall experience. I can't stand the lack of tactile feedback that comes with touch controls, and in my opinion, the bigger the screen, the better. This fan effort lets me sit in a comfy chair and play the way I want to. Something I didn't comment on before, because I was ignorant, is that there's a hidden option to add Sonic 3's elemental shields. This definitely changes the game up in some fun ways, breathing new life into an old favourite. It's just a shame the option isn't more obvious. These changes are more than enough to change my opinion of Whitehead's work to a point where I can now see why everyone praises it. It was even how I chose to stream the game when I marathoned Sonic's 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles recently. I was wrong. My information was outdated, and I apologise to both Whitehead as a developer and you as a viewer. Funnily enough, around the same time we got the Android Decompilation, we also got Sonic 2 Community's Cut. It's basically Sonic 3 Air, but for Sonic 2. It checks if you own the game on Steam, it adds widescreen support, except for in the special stages, it gives Sonic an afterimage when he has speed shoes, you have options for elemental shields, as well as a host of other toggles and quality of life improvements. It was here I played more with the elemental shields. Having a fire shield in Hilltop is kind of broken. You also get a weird sense of freedom from double jumping around Casino Night via the lightning shield. I want to do more playthroughs using these things, this is pretty fun. It's not perfect by any means. The Aquatic Ruin boss is still, well, ruined, and I did run into some bugs and issues during my playthrough, but it's an all-around fantastic effort, exactly the kind of thing I was hoping we'd see one day. It was just bad luck that the Android Decompilations launched shortly after and rendered Community's Cut, in its creator's eyes at least, redundant. Hey Joe Wei, the person behind Community's Cut, even joined the Decompilation team. In my mind, I think there was room for both projects. Christian Whitehead's efforts are poor, meaning it's unlikely to ever be 100% accurate to the original, while my understanding of Community's Cut is that it's an extensive mod that requires the original ROM. If I'm right, and that's a big if, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes of this thing, it means the physics and momentum, which are key to Sonic, should be identical to the original Mega Drive release. Of course, we've also had the announcement of Sonic Origins, which will include official ports of Sonic's 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, and CD for modern platforms. So our options for playing my favourite game of all time are about to expand once again. No doubt I'll be making another Sonic 2 video shortly after Origins releases, but until then we still have Hero, Shadow, 06, and more to cover. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, a big thank you to my patrons Chocoson and Crow, and I'll see you all in the next video.